One thing I wanted to talk about today is player mentality in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Whether it's at a regional, a YCS, or a national tournament, what a lot of players don't realize is that despite spending thousands of dollars on decks, spreadsheets, learning tools from coaches, none of that really matters unless you have the mentality to back it up. Now, there are varying degrees of player mentality, such as with Kobe Bryant, you have the Mamba mentality. With Deion Primetime Sanders, you've got the feel good, look good mentality, but also there's some negative ones, like low tier gods mentality when it comes to playing competitive fighting games. And before I go into any more detail, I want you to hit like, subscribe, and even comment down below a few examples of how mentality could have affected you in any competition that you've played in. It could be Yu-Gi-Oh!, sports, any of the sort. But now let's get into it. With the Mamba mentality, it was put in the effort, put in hours and hours and blood and sweat and tears into your practice, into your craft, so that way whenever you go onto the floor, onto the court, onto the field, you perform well. You'll see the results. With Deion Primetime Sanders, the mentality of feel good, play good, it was, I'm going to go into this competition dressed to the T, I'm going to dress how I want to, I'm going to feel good. Because if I feel good, then that's going to translate onto the court of the field of me playing good. And then if I play good, I'm going to get paid good. And I want to be paid good. Which helped him become the best cornerback to a lot in the NFL. Now, going to another example, a more recent example, is with the infamous 28-3 comeback in Super Bowl 51 against the Atlanta Falcons. During the game, every analyst, every announcer was like, oh, this game is over. You know, there's 2 minutes left in the third quarter. But that's not how the Patriots thought. They thought, if we can get one thing to go our way, we can take that momentum and ride it to victory, which they ultimately ended up doing, winning 34-28 in overtime. You know, you had the strip sack against Matt Ryan. You had Julian Edelman's immaculate catch where it looked like the ball touched the ground, but it didn't. You know, all that stuff contributed to that momentum that they kept building and building and building to the point where they did come back and win. And so looking at bad player mentality, you have low tier god with Street Fighter, any fighting game he plays, where if things don't go his way, he resorts to insults about how the player actually is bad, how their Wi-Fi is bad, you know, kind of taming it down from what he actually says. I'll link a few of his examples in the description, as well as the examples I listed of good player mentality. And so one mentality that I wanted to talk about is my mentality when it came to playing at the competitive level, at the regional level. With any competition that I played in, my father would give me the talk of run your race, back when I used to run cross country. And at first I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, yeah, duh, I'm gonna run my own race. But that meant, now that I got older, what that meant was, don't let anything else influence you. Just do you. Play your game, run your race. The only thing stopping you is you. And it took me until my first regional loss and not making top cut to realize that, because going into the last round of my first regional, it was not good. I had tied, the chances of me topping were slim, and I needed to win to even be in consideration of making the top cut, which ultimately didn't happen because the round before was the tie round, and that just put me in a bad mental state where I was extremely nervous. I played too conservatively, and that ended up doing more harm than good. So then I took that, learned the lessons from it, and then went to the next regional, which was a hometown regional with a deck I was more comfortable with, in an area I was more comfortable with, in even a location I was very comfortable with. And I took that, and despite what a lot of pro players say with how my performance started of the event, you know, being X2 after round 4, meaning 2 wins, 2 losses, I beat what honestly were pretty improbable odds, because I had to win 5 rounds in a row, but I didn't let that nervousness get to me of, I need to win, I need to win, I need to win, I need to win. Honestly, when I was progressing through the rounds and I was winning and winning and winning and winning, I was pulling off some things that you might not have seen with the deck I was playing. And so that made me feel good. And ultimately, I just played the game that I wanted to play, and I ended up making top cut. Made 29th out of, I think, 451 players, which anyone can tell you for a second regional is actually pretty good, even great. And so I wanted to end this video off by asking you, the viewer, is there any instance where your mentality might have influenced you in how you play anything, any sport, any game, Yu-Gi-Oh! At a regional, you went in, you got beat pretty bad, and then that influenced your next game, and you just took that negative momentum and it ended up hurting you more than harming you. Or, you were on a hot streak and you felt good and it ended up helping you attain your goal. So just let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to respond to anything that I see. And you guys have a great day. See ya.